Hey, Pisces, Mel, Intuitive Coach here, excited to bring in your June 2025 career and money reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome. Pisces, I am getting restructuring or some big changes going on within the workplace or within your business. It feels like there's a turnaround after some big choices or changes have been made. I'm actually seeing the old school game musical chairs. So perhaps there's been a shift here in authority or coworkers. Things have been moved around a bit, but it may be that someone is no longer employed, okay, or you no longer work with the same individuals that you worked with. And I just see here some big shifts coming in, and you may not love the shifts. I'm just going to tell you straight up, you may not love them. And if that's the case, I do see here that you have a choice to make. Do I stay in this energy, even though there's been a lot of shifts? Yeah, Seven of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Is it worth it? Am I receiving back what I'm putting out there? Or you have the option here to embrace a new beginning. And I see that there is temptation to perhaps stay in something that may feel heavy or like musical chairs. But I do see you also have your long-term growth you're considering and thinking about. So for example, perhaps you have 5 more years until retirement and you may be a teacher and you're thinking, is it worth it to switch jobs or to look for something else when I only have 5 years left? So I see that you are weighing up some pros and cons at this time, but you may break out of a pattern or a cycle, or for some of you out of a toxic environment in order to spare your own personal well-being because something doesn't feel satisfactory anymore. So you could be pivoting and shifting gears here. Now you have the eggs card showing up. This is about starting over. Some of you, it's about saving up or looking at your resources. That could also be the golden handcuffs, as they call them, where you may have some sort of insurance or some sort of benefits or healthcare that keep you tethered to a dynamic. But I do see here that there are new opportunities out there for those of you that may want to veer in a new direction, because the Seven of Pentacles is showing up here, and this is about assessing the return here on your investment. So I feel like you've been sitting in this space, and for some of you it's been dissatisfying to some degree with the Three of Swords showing up here, but I feel like you are asking some of the more difficult questions. Now you could even work in healthcare or insurance, and if that's the case, I see that you could land a job elsewhere. Now, you've been working really hard, and that's what can be frustrating with that Three of Swords sometimes is you want that recognition. You want maybe the accolades or just the pat on the back sometimes, and to be told that you're doing a good job with this labor. It says here, though, your hard work will be rewarded soon. Keep at it. And I am actually getting here a really favorable energy in your near future. So try not to let the instant maybe gratification or the toxicity, maybe it's more toxicity than it is instant gratification. Like, don't let the distraction hold you back from your fortune, because you do have something beautiful that you're celebrating here in the near future. Now, some of you could even work in construction, maintenance, painting, or any kind of labor work, or you could even be behind the scenes, because I'm getting behind the scenes, such as maybe administrative or like computer work. I'm getting technology as well. It could be for a construction or maintenance company. It says, don't be afraid of hard work. What lasts won't come easy. And that's what I see right now is it's like you are in the midst here of this really hard work that you've been applying towards your career. You've been maybe studying really hard. You've been putting your nose to the grindstone, trying to save up for your future. And I just see that there's some external shifts that are taking place here that are causing you to perhaps feel at times a little bit disappointed or even a little bit set back. But there is some really incredible major arcanas coming in, which I'll share in just a moment. But you have the Rebel card here in the near future. This is about you breaking free from whatever toxicity or bondage, golden handcuffs, or even materialism. This is liberation. And it says limiting beliefs may have been affecting your abundance. So really take a look and ask yourself, are there any beliefs that are holding me back from manifesting more abundance, more money, more finances, whatever wealth looks like to you? That is something worth investing. Now, you are a system buster, potentially an entrepreneur. You may be here, Pisces, to teach others a better way. It says you're a trailblazer meant to pave the way for future generations. And I'm also getting here with that musical chairs energy. Did I mention that earlier? Musical chairs. It feels like, someone could be coming in and going out, but it feels like someone's been left out here. So it feels like when things are in the flow, people aren't worried about the stability, but the second the music stops, it's like there's a scramble. So I feel like it's been a constant, back and forth for some of you. That has felt a little bit confusing, or it's been very distracting, to say the least, where maybe there's been a lot of, new people or just new systems in place or rules and regulations that have caused you to feel a little bit confused about, okay, what is this stable? Do I have what it takes to stay? Should I veer off? Do I continue building? What do I do now? Well, you have the light bulb here, right behind the science card and right behind silence. So this is big. Some of you are building something in silence or moving in silence while you continue to build. Silence is the best way to increase your personal power. Yeah, because you may not be able to trust everybody, especially in the musical chairs. When that music stops, they're rushing for their spot, and it can be cutthroat at times. So it says sharing too much too soon. Not everyone is honest. So I feel like you are dealing potentially with people who may have tried to steal your position, or they may have been gossiping or talking behind your back. Now, I don't love to deliver that message, but because I see the devil here with the Three of Swords, I feel like you have this new opportunity or this second chance to maybe rise up from this situation. You could be the trailblazer. Maybe you're meant to go to human resources or go to a higher up if there's been some sort of trouble. Okay, not that you want to be the whistleblower here, but I actually feel like you may be the catalyst in order to not feel like you are stuck or in that Three of Swords. There's something that needs to be done or said here. Now you have the science card. Keep an open mind. Something is unfolding for you. Yes, it is. It feels like you got your eye on something big here. You may even be scrutinizing, meaning you're taking a look at all of the details. You don't want to miss the details here. You could even be keeping some sort of documentation or evidence when it comes to your finances. This could be family money. It can be something within your career. I mean, you could even be studying, going back and getting a degree. I see here that you're also very intelligent in the mind. You could be a chemist, forensics, biochemist, or anything in the field of science, including health or medical. Apply a scientific approach to your business or financial problems. And then lastly, we have the light bulb here, and this is all at the bottom of the deck. So this is what is bubbling up to the surface here. You're going to have a breakthrough. I see here that you're feeling more inspired, especially towards Cancer season, because they're showing me the Chariot. Even though I don't see it here in your energy, I do feel like there's more movement towards perhaps the end of June into the end of July, when Cancer season is ripe. And this is also about a new job for some of you. It's a new income source. It could even be entrepreneurship where you're ready to launch here a creative project that you have been working on. So I see that this is exciting finally, after perhaps feeling like that light bulb has went dim or it's went out. I see that you don't have to necessarily keep something to yourself like you have been. All right. Now, your first card out is the Three of Swords. So Three of Swords can feel disappointment. Maybe there's been some sort of separation, like musical chairs. As I mentioned, when that music stops, somebody is going to be left out, and it feels like you may have been the one that didn't have the chair, or perhaps you're picking up on the energies of competition around you, and maybe you did have a chair but you had to watch somebody else get thrown under the bus, or somebody else maybe accused of something, whatever it may be here. I feel like it's caused some disheartening energy for you, and you may even have been part of maybe some family drama, family dynamics around finances or around money. This could even be like child support or alimony. It may even be some sort of settlement where you feel like you're disappointed that maybe someone has taken advantage in some way. Now you have crossing you the Six of Wands. Yeah, I saw the Six of Wands earlier in my mind's eye for you before this came out. So Six of Wands is, when it's showing up in the upright, it is recognition. But the fact that it's the challenge tells me that you feel like you're being overlooked, or you feel alienated here, or even unrecognized as the music is going around. And it just feels like you've been working really hard to create your abundance. And you're like, all right, well, when am I going to see the fruits of my labor pay off here? So that feels like it's been on your mind, or it's been causing a little bit of restlessness with that Three of Swords. But the fact that the Six of Wands is showing up here tells me that you have the ability to turn things around. And that's what I see as your future energy as well with that wheel. So in your foundation, Page of Fire. This is the Page of Wands here. Now, you are a student of life. You may have even gone to school for whatever degree you are in, or you have some experience under your belt because you've had to start from scratch with this Page of Wands. And I see that you are very curious. You're also very passionate, and there may have been some exciting news in your deep foundation that really kind of perked you up a bit, kind of allowed you to get curious about your career, your finances, or your money. And I feel like that may have prompted you to gain some additional skills or to learn something new about your craft, because in the recent past, you do have the Eight of Pentacles. Now, the Eight of Pentacles is mastery. It is education. It's dedicating yourself to labors of love. And it feels like you may have struggled with getting the financial compensation or receiving back something that maybe you've put a lot of your time and energy and effort into. Again, with the laborer card, you've been working really, really hard. The Eight of Pentacles can sometimes be a workaholic. It can be driving yourself too hard, or sometimes not driving yourself hard enough. So take a look at where you are at on that spectrum. But I feel like it's the laborer, right? Maybe you feel like you have been working so hard under the control or demands of others, and you're like, I just can't do it anymore. Now, what's coming up above you is the call. I mean, this could be a literal call for some of you, a phone call, but this is the Judgment card. And when the Judgment shows up, this is a redemption. It's basically a second chance here for you to go through a portal. And I am getting with this Judgment, you are considering your next move, right? That's what's coming in here. You're like, all right, I've sat in this energy here. I now have maybe graduated. For some of you, it's been very strenuous. I'm also getting an exam. There's something here about taking an exam and you may have failed, Okay, Six of Wands can be the card of failure. So if there was something that you applied for or a test or it just feels like you didn't get it the first time around, I actually feel like either third time's a charm or this go around. I mean, even if this is the third time or the second time, it feels like this next go around for you, you will succeed. Don't let the distractions of past energies or how things have been played out in the past get in your head. So for example, if you failed twice before at something, or if you've tried to apply for a job and you got rejected, don't let that rejection, don't let that get in your head telling a story that this is what's going to happen this time around, because I feel like it's not. And I know it's easier said than done when we've gone through disappointment, rejection, or failure. But remember, failure and success, they're not miles apart. They're closely connected, because in order to succeed, we must fail. And I see here that you have the second chance here to start fresh, or to try again, or to go for that loan, or to buy that home, or to get that job offer. So there's definitely here a judgment being made. Now, this could actually be from a judge, because you have the scales here of justice. So for some of you, perhaps in the past you applied for child support, or you applied for a loan and maybe something was denied. Maybe this was VA. This could be medical leave. It could be whatever it was. It feels like it was rejected and it caused disappointment, but I see that you have another go around with this judgment card, because in the near future, you actually have the Fortune's wheel. Wheel of Fortune here is destined. It is fate. It's also about a renewal. Now, it is the card of a fortune, of course, and I feel like you've created your own luck by not giving up. Even when it feels like the school of hard knocks knocks you down, you're going to get back up again. I feel like sometimes you've stayed down for a little bit, but you're not a quitter. You are a warrior, and you have the ability to turn this wheel. And I'm getting that old soap opera. Maybe some of you remember it, As the Wheel, or As the World Turns, I think was the soap opera. Now, maybe some of you watch that, or maybe I don't even think it's on TV anymore, but maybe there's a parallel or a dynamic that has played out the same as that. Maybe it feels like life right now is a soap opera, but I do see here the upright version of this energy, and it feels like you're finally entering a new cycle after a period of perhaps karma, or it feels like a bad luck, right? Or just feeling like things were stressful or toxic, that you're stepping out of that. You're liberating yourself from that. So big major arcanas here. Now, how are you doing? How are you feeling? You have the Temperance card here. So Pisces, you are trying to balance your inner world, your outer world the best you can. This is about allowing yourself that tender love and care, because the Temperance card is ultimately about patience. And I feel like you've had to be patient. You've tried to tell yourself to be patient. But what happens sometimes is we souls having this human experience, we can become very impatient. And I feel like you've been in a little bit of a loop from, maybe I'm getting like a decade. For some of you, it's been a while. I mean, some of you not that long, but I saw the number 10. So, I mean, maybe it's 10 months for some of you. Some of you, it's been 10 years, or maybe since the 10th month. So maybe since last October, you felt like you've been in a little bit of a loop here, Pisces. But this is a long time coming for you to finally hear some good news, finally move forward here with your plans, with your dreams, to maybe build that home of yours, or to retire, or maybe to leave that position and move forward. So I like that showing up, because it's telling me your patience is paying off. All right, your patience is paying off, because what do we have in your environment? One of the most beautiful financial cards you can get, the 10 of Earth, the 10 of Pentacles, in the upright position at that. So this is about financial security and wealth. It's about abundance, legacy, family ties. It can even be marriage and divorce, as well as the Wall Street energy. So it feels like there's some form of retirement or long-term goals that you are determined to succeed at. All right. This is accomplishment here in the physical world, but you've gone through a lot to get to this level or get to this point in your journey. So I feel like you've earned every penny of what is coming your way. You absolutely have. For some of you, this is an inheritance, okay? And maybe that Three of Swords is some sort of family drama over money, over assets, over a home. I feel like there's been some power struggles, maybe with the power of attorney, but that is shifting here. Now, in your hopes and fears, you have the Justice and the Upright. Two of Wands wanted to come out with it. So you're afraid that someone is going to rescind or go back on their offer. You're afraid that something isn't going to go through. So for example, maybe you've tried to purchase or sell your home twice and it's fell through twice. And third time now is coming up, but there's that fear of, okay, it already fell through twice. It's going to fall through again, but there's still that glimmer of hope. The Justice card here showing up as your hope is saying things are rebalancing out for you. Wheel of Fortune, Judgment, Temperance, Justice, and with your outcome as the major arcana it is, I'll share with you in just a moment. But the Justice as your hope is saying, okay, there's accountability here. Someone is taking accountability. There is a karmic cycle that is being completed. There's a justice being served or a legal issue or a judgment maybe against someone that is bringing a balance to the mix here. And you may have even get like a divorce settlement or some sort of monies from divorce is what I'm getting here as well. If it's not like an inheritance, you could be getting back pay, money that was owed to you. But I also see with that Two of Wands, there's been a lot of doubt. And that's the fear here, is the doubt that these scales won't be balanced. That again, something will feel either very unethical or it'll feel off key. And with your outcome as the Devil in reverse, this is liberation. This is huge. You've already taken a bite of that apple in the past and it didn't turn out the way that you thought. You've learned a very valuable lesson, but you wouldn't have learned it if you wouldn't have taken a bite out of that apple. But now all of your patience, all of your growth, all of your hard work is paying off, because right next to the apple, it's not the temptation anymore of the gold that was locked. It feels like something is unlocking for you because you're liberating yourself from either the limiting beliefs. With the Rebel card, I mean, remember what I said with that Rebel. She is the trailblazer. She breaks away from this. So whatever has been heavy here, causing a mixture of the Three of Swords here with that Devil. It could be lies. It could be the chair being pulled out from underneath you, right? It can be dishonesty or just feeling like you're not getting what you're putting out into a project or into your work. I feel like you're moving on. There is something fresh, something new, a judgment, a choice being made potentially by you to move that wheel in a new direction. So if you felt stuck, this is the month where you unstick yourself. I'm not sure what the correct pronunciation is for that, but you're definitely getting unstuck. So let's get a few messages here. You have spending, you have pay bills, credit repair, work from home, savings, and debt paid. Beautiful. Yeah, some of you are paying off some debt, and maybe that has been heavy on your conscience with that Three of Swords. Maybe the Judgment is like a final bill being paid, because your first card out here, one of them is the paying the bill. So you could be paying something off this month and it feels like a huge weight has been lifted. This could be something as huge as a mortgage. It could be a small loan that you've applied for. It's something you've been working along long time for, and I feel like it's going to free you up. That Devil, it feels like you've been bonded to the loan, paying interest, or, whatever it is that you've been feeling like you've been paying interest into but not getting anywhere. I just see here that there's, again, really great shifts coming in as the final outcome here with even this card or this pile is that debt paid. So it's like you've paid some sort of debt. Maybe it's a karmic debt. You're going to have enough to pay bills. And I feel like you've been budgeting. Some of you, it's been a sacrifice here to get something paid off earlier, or to maybe go without your favorites for the time being. So you could apply more to whatever it is that you've been wanting to apply it towards, but now you're able to pay it off. Now there's happy smiles here. There is celebration, and you're going to be able to save more, put more down, or put more money in your pocket. It feels like there could even be more income, more sales showing up this month. Some of you may even work from home. That could be a goal of yours. And I see with the credit repair, I mean, yes, some of you could be bettering your credit or paying off a credit card, as I mentioned, but I'm also getting projects around the home, do-it-yourself projects that may actually require some, elbow grease or some tools, as you see the hammer and nail here. So maybe you are building a fence, building a chicken coop, building a garden area. Perhaps you're adding on to a home or building a home. It feels like someone is doing some manual labor, and you could even be hiring someone. You have the laborer card. Maybe you're hiring someone to come paint your home, or do some maintenance work or some construction work on your home or your office space. But I feel like if that is an added expense, I do feel like it's in the budget, or perhaps it's a write-off, or you'll be able to finance that just fine with the saving money here and debt paid. All right, Pisces, even though it feels like coming into the month, it may feel a little bit heavy, I just feel like you have some sort of great news coming in with that Wheel of Fortune. There's something beautiful. Yeah, blessed. Look at that. This could be an unexpected blessing showing up for you. You have number 22 showing up. And this is all about miracles and blessings are on their way. Some of you may be born on the 22nd, and the 22nd of June could be a big day. As I mentioned, Cancer season. So we have here, let's see. We have something wonderful that is unearned or unexpected, but I feel like you've earned this. It could be grace that is an unforeseen gift from Spirit. Now, there are moments in life when out of the blue, it seems that everything is orchestrated by divine intervention. Hello, Wheel of Fortune, right? That is divine intervention coming in here. You feel blessed in ways that feel difficult to express. It's as if the Red Sea parts in front of you and events come together to banish your troubles easily and naturally. Let awe and gratitude for all your blessings guide you now. This can be an unexpected windfall and good fortune come your way. And they are. The Wheel of Fortune is coming your way. You're in a phase where any difficulties or obstacles that have stymied your success seem to disappear on their own. Be ready to receive. The windows of opportunity will open wide. Accept the blessings given to you now and don't forget to share them. Yeah, I feel like you've, in a way, for some of you, you may have felt like you hit a bit of rock bottom. Okay. Again, if you've had to do something over and over, you're like, when is this going to shift? When am I finally going to get out of this cycle? And I see here that you have surrendered in a way. I feel like that's more of the past energy, the part of the lessons of the Page of Wands here. I feel like there's some really incredible shifts coming in after feeling like, when are the blessings coming in, Mel? When are these opportunities coming in? I keep hearing them. I feel like I'm on the edge. Well, this is a powerful month with all of these major arcanas here. So let's get a few messages from your spirit animal guides. And at this time, Pisces, if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale through the nose. Hold it for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1, and release through the mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky or swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, magical, or even mystical. This could be a pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, one that's recently crossed your path in the great outdoors, or even visited through your dreams. It could even be a pet that you currently have at your home or by your side. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your power animals, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them below. I'll enter you into the free reading giveaway on the first of the month, where I post right back here on the channel. All right, so make sure to hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss that notification. Pisces, you have number 38. Some of you may be 38 years old, 43 years old, 61, or 67. We have Lizard, dream the world into being. To me, this is about your dreams manifesting into reality. That's what the Lizard is saying here. Your dreams are starting to finally take shape. They're finally starting to take form. But be adaptable and be flexible in the how, okay? Or at least surrendering to the expectations of what something looks like, because Spirit has some beautiful plans in the work. That's why the blessings card is here for you. So Lizard. Next you have Owl, Spirit. You can see clearly now. Like I mentioned earlier, things may have felt uncertain. Perhaps they felt a bit foggy or a bit heavy with that 3 of Swords, but I feel like you are moving through that fog and you're coming out on the other side, and on the other side is where that sun is shining. So beautiful. Next you have Turkey, Spirit. Give with gratitude and grace. This is about being grateful for everything that you have, being grateful for the miracles and the blessings that surround you, and the ones that you haven't quite touched yet, but you're trusting that they are well on their way. So a lot of gratitude. An attitude of gratitude is the best thing here. And then lastly, you have Wolf, Spirit. Turn knowledge into wisdom. Yeah, you are the wise one here. I feel like you've learned a lot on your Fool's journey. Page of Wands, right? That's where you've come from. You have started from scratch. You've worked your way up. You have a lot of wisdom. You have a lot of experience. But I also see that you are ready to crash through that glass ceiling and take something to the next level. So even if that means you become the student again, that's okay. Because it's not like you're falling all the way down and starting back at ground zero, even though it feels that way sometimes. I just feel like you are taking these steps and you're getting to the next level. You're getting to the next phase of your journey. And lastly here, Pisces, let's get a message from your soul's truth. What does your soul want you to know at this time? Are you focused, Pisces, on what you are losing or on what you are gaining? Are you going through some change? Are you scared to let go with that 3 of Swords because of what you might lose? What if you shifted your focus from what you might lose to what you might gain? Endings are actually new beginnings. So there is something here that you are being asked to put behind you. Okay, that's the Judgment card here as well. to release maybe judgments of self, judgments of others. This is letting go of the past. You're not going back there anymore. But sometimes we tend to spiral back around, and we repeat patterns, or we stay in a zone that feels familiar, but we don't grow in our comfort zone. And I feel like you're breaking out of that cycle. It says, today's soul action, make a list of all the things you will gain from going through this change. Feel your heart, take a breath, and deepen into trust. Amazing things are coming. That's what it says there, Pisces. Amazing things are coming. So you have that proof, right? Or there's your alignment. You have the blessed card here. There's double confirmation. You have the wheel of fortune. And even though the devil is sneaking its ugly head up here, it is in reverse, which means, yes, the energy of the devil is present, but it's good that it's present because it means that you're able to face it. You're able to see what it is in your world, and you're able to remove yourself from the devil's grip. And I see that there are some beautiful things coming in ahead. That is what I have for you, Pisces. If you enjoyed the message, please hit that thumbs up. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Lots of love.